Manley Fishing by land, kayak, or boat. If we can get to it, we're going to fish it. And we're going to show you how we did it.
Hello and welcome back to Manley Fishing. I'm Terry Manley, your host, and today we're going to be heading down to the intercoastal and doing a little red fishing. This is sort of like a fluke episode. We weren't planning on doing a shoot until next weekend with David Sanderford, but been cooped up in the house for all Christmas, and it's the first of the year, and I need to get out and get my rod bent. I know you know what that feels like. So today we're going to be talking about two different things. We're going to be talking about the rise and fall of the tide, and we're going to be talking about tweaking your bait for the right conditions. So let's head down to the water and let's go fishing. There he is. Another good red. They're getting ready to feed it. Current starting to come up. Oh, he's taking off. Oh, there he goes again. Oh, he's running. Nice red. Look at him take drag. Watch that drag. Take off. They fight so well. So much fun. Just leave my net out. Like I'm gonna use it a lot. He's still fighting. Don't want to give up. Okay, I think it's time for him to come in. Or her. And into the, here you go. Another nice red. This is just a hair bigger than the last one. Look at that. Nice red. Look at that tail. Gorgeous tail. Yes. Beautiful copper color. Say hello. And I forgot to measure it. What's up there? Oh, nice red. Pretty red. like to give up. She don't want to give up. Tide starting to roll in now. Makes all the difference in the world. I'm getting some mud in the boat. Ooh, got mud everywhere. Yeah, I'm going to red too. Okay, baby. Pretty red. Caught that on that new bait from American Tackle. Man, got mud all in the boat. There's another one. Ooh, a good one. Good red. First two, but he's still a good red. Still a lot of fun fish. These things are amazing. Nice little red. Pretty good. All three of them got similar dog. Hello and welcome back. Today we're talking about how to tweak your bait for the conditions that you're fishing to make your bait work better for you or just to get a better bite. And we're actually going to show you 2 or 3 different things that we're doing today. But we're fishing for redfish down in the intercoastal. We're fishing around oyster bars. We're fishing around a swampy area. It's got a lot of mangroves and marsh in it. So pretty much every cast I'm going to be throwing up into something that's going to cause this bait to get hung up. Most people rig their swim bait with a jig head, some type of a jig head, and they run the hook right through the center of it and back out. Gives you a lot of exposed hook right there for a good hook set when you get a bite. But if I throw this where I'm going, I'm going to get hung up just about every other cast, and that's not going to do me any good because I'm not going to catch anything because I'm going to be tying all day. Plus, I don't have to replace a bunch of these jig heads and lures. So we need to come up with a different situation in order to fish this area a lot more productively. So what we're doing is we're throwing a twisty lock hook. Now, a few things this twisty lock hook is going to do for me. First off, it's got a wide gap, which is good. The second thing that's really good about it is that it's got a weighted head on it. It's only 1/8 of an ounce, but I can move it forward or backwards. If I move it backwards, it makes my bait ride up in the water column. If I move it forward, it makes it ride down in the water column. Now I don't have to control my depth with my retrieve. And then I can use my retrieve to get different depths and different actions out of the bait. So that really is really good. Another thing that's really good about the twisty hook is I can make it weedless now. Now I can pull it through the oyster bars, I can pull it through the mangroves and all the marshes, and I'm not going to get hung up that much at all. So this makes it a lot more effective. But another thing that we did, if you'll notice when we had these baits hooked up, is you don't get much hook setting power in that. I mean, not a hook setting power, but the gap is not wide enough. When you put it in there, when you mash it down, it doesn't expose a lot of the hook. And we were throwing these like this when we first got there, and we was missing a lot of bait. I mean, bam, 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 bam. It kept pulling it out of their mouth. So I'm going to show you a little trick that we did that allowed us to catch more of these fish. So what we would do is we would take one of these right here, and I'd take a razor blade, just take anything in your kayak. I was just taking my a hook tray, and I was cutting off the bottom of the belly. I was squaring that up. Now it's a lot slimmer through here because I cut part of the belly off. Now I get a lot more gap with my hook. So as soon as I did that, I started getting hook sets. So that makes a big difference. Taking that little bit out of the belly didn't change the action of the bait. It changed the weight just a little bit, but not enough to make that much difference. But I was getting a lot better hookup. That was the trick today. That was the trick. Another thing that we're doing is we're fishing the rise of the tide. Now, when I first got out there, there was a few places I actually got stuck in my kayak. It was so low. But as soon as that water got up enough that those redfish could run back in there and start feeding, they started hitting like crazy. The oyster bars were out of the water 1.5 foot, and when I left, they were underwater and I couldn't even see them. So it rose pretty quick, and when it did, they were just tearing it up everywhere. As soon as it got up there high, they slowed back down. Now you can still catch them on the high tide, but when it started receding again, they would start turning it on again. So watch your tide charts. When it's rising or falling is the best time to fish. And in some conditions, a rising tide is better than a lowering tide or a falling tide. And in some places, in some areas, some conditions, a falling tide is better than a rising tide. So you can always check with your local bait shop, and they'll tell you what's going on with the redfish, the snook, and a lot of the different fish that you're fishing for. And they'll tell you which one they're hitting on the best. They'll give you the tide charts. On the intercoastal, it's sort of hard to figure. It can say high tides at 3 o'clock, but in the intercoastal, it might be 2, 3, 4, 5 hours later, depending on which way the wind's blowing, before you actually have a high tide, depending where you're at on the intercoastal. The closer you are to an inlet, the quicker it's going to rise with it. Where I live, sometimes it'll run 3 to 5 hours behind. It also depends on the wind direction. So check those rising and falling tides and tweak your bait, and I think in the future, I think you'll catch more fish. So thank you for watching, and I hope this helps you all a lot. Tight lines, everyone.